A few months ago, at the beginning of my self-improvement journey, I had already been eating very clean, and I really noticed how I love eating vegetables more and more. So a few weeks after doing this, there was a party at the American Club. Like the American Club, it's exclusive to Americans, but you can pay a membership for other people as well. So we had like a paid membership to go there. And normally it's empty, so this time there was people actually there and we wanted to go there. So we went to the American Club and I had burger. So I had some burgers, plural, but I overate. I came home and I just felt sick to my stomach. I actually felt horrible. And it was at this moment that I vowed to myself that I would never overeat like this. I actually made a God journey video about this. This was before I started the actual God journey you currently see on my channel. It's like a pre-God journey. But I still made a video about it. Maybe I could show it. I'm not going to show it probably, but maybe I'll post it in the future. And I just felt horrible. I felt sick. It's like I couldn't even think about food anymore. And even if I ate like 2-3 plates of vegetables and I would be full, this wouldn't happen to me. This would only happen to me when I overeat in bad modern food. Now, when I made this vow, of course, I broke it within a month. But now I've been able to, hold my diet pretty consistently. But it's not about the diet, it's also about the mental state you have behind it. That doesn't mean you can just eat shit food either way. What are the components of the modern diet? To figure out what we need to eat, we have to first figure out why the modern diet is killing us slowly. Because there is an obesity pandemic going on in the world, and it's a large problem. It might not be because of what you think is actually going on. Because people are overeating, and you might just think that they're the problem. But we have to ask the deeper question. The question is not just people are overeating. The problem is that why are people overeating? That's the problem. Why are people indulging in more and more food? And that's because of the types of food we eat. There's a difference in what we eat. There are different sorts of calories. There are bad calories and there are good calories. People will often say that it doesn't matter as long as it fits your macros. That's not the case. There is indeed bad food. Believe it or not, I think it's all clear for most of us that there is bad food. So it's all about the types of food we eat. We as humans have not evolved that much. Our bodies have physically not evolved that much. So it's the world. If our bodies have not evolved to such a level that we can keep up, then it's the world that's evolved too much. And that is exactly the same over here. It's not the people that are obese that are a problem. It's not that we should look at these people and think that it's us versus them, that they are the problem. The problem is what they consume. So it's not how much they eat, but what they eat. So of course, what they eat is processed foods. When you see an unhealthy person, what do you imagine they eat? It's going to be something like burgers, pizza, ice cream. It's processed food. It's junk food. It's fast. It's delicious. It's high in dopamine, but it's less rewarding. It's instant gratification as compared to delayed gratification. It gives us instant pleasure, but afterwards it feels horrible. It's the same thing for the burger I told you about. I overate in these burgers. Normally for vegetables, this wouldn't have been a problem. I could easily eat 3 to 4 plates, be absolutely full, be stuffed, but I'd still feel good. In fact, I'd feel amazing. But with burgers, you eat like 2 burgers and you feel full, but you also feel sick. You can't even think about food anymore. And that's exactly the problem. They're eating too much of the wrong thing. Now you might immediately think, because I said processed foods, that it's fats. These people eat too much fats. But it's not. Fats are the problem, because you have different types of fats. You might not know this, but there is a healthy form of fat. The fats that are healthy for us are natural fats. These are the things that mostly come from animals. It's oils, it's butter, it's meat. These are healthy fats. It's all natural. Unhealthy fats are processed fats. These are bad for us. You might know this triangle. This triangle is a fucking scam. You have been scammed, man. You have been massively scammed. You see this triangle? Let's just go over it. You see that tier with the bread and the pasta? Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. Why the highest tier is indeed like the bad stuff. Look at the lowest tier. This is considered like pretty healthy stuff. Bread, pasta, it's not. Because these things are made up of simple carbs, which are bad for us. This triangle has ruined our vision of what's good for us and bad for us. You'll see things with high... Look at milk. Maybe actual natural milk is pretty healthy for you. It might be. But nowadays, you don't buy that milk. You're not going to go into... I don't know you, bro. I don't know you personally. But I can assure you, I know for a fact... Maybe I don't know for a fact. Okay, fair. But I almost know for certain that you don't go into the fucking, like, whatever yard the cows are in, or whatever farm the cows are in, and you go there and you milk the cow to get your daily dose of milk. I'm pretty sure you don't do that. You get your milk from bottles. And these bottled milk, these carton bottles of milk, have massive amounts of sugar added to them. And that's the exact problem. The bad thing that these people are eating, the bad thing that these people are consuming is not fats. If you see products that say reduced fats, you'd think that they're pretty healthy, but they're not. Because these products with reduced fat taste horrible. They would taste horrible because anything without fat tastes horrible. Things need fat to taste nice. This is why we put oil and butter in our pan. So we have to somehow sell this stuff to people in the light of it's healthy because it's reduced fat, but we also want it to taste good because people need to buy more of our product, and if it tastes bad, well, no one's going to buy it. So what do we add? Sugar. Sugar is the enemy. Sugar is the problem. With fat, you might have, if you eat too much of the bad fats, the unnatural processed fats, you will gain fat, and you overeat in that, you will gain more fat. But this can be burned off. The problem is sugar, because sugar causes fat to develop on the inside. This will cause heart diseases and such. The actual sicknesses and diseases don't come from eating fat, but from sugar, because sugar stacks up over time. So sugar is the enemy. Sugar is the problem. Reduce all sugar. What do we do? Our main problem nowadays, our modern diet, is the problem of our modern diet and how it's killing us slowly is that everything has sugar in it. It's very hard to find products that don't have sugar in them. As I mentioned, milk should be healthy, is not. Too much sugar. A lot of products nowadays that you might think are healthy because, it has fruit and something in it. It isn't healthy. Oh, but I'm eating strawberry jam. Come on, bro. It's strawberry. It's healthy. Look at the sugar. Look at the amount of sugar in it. It's not healthy. So if our modern diet is fucked, what do we eat then? Well, for this, we do the ancestral diet. I want you to take an actionable step first, bro. I want you to take an actionable step. Go downstairs or wherever a family member is, your parents or your grandparents. Don't ask your sibling because this won't work if you ask them. But ask someone in your family or someone around you, just in your facility right now, what their parents or grandparents used to eat. And then after that question, ask them if they were healthy. I'm going to do this right now. I don't have to pause. Actually, no, let's just... Right, so I just asked my mom what her parents ate, so my grandparents. So most of the time it was something like meat, which was like chicken, steak, pork, and on Sunday would be something special like lamb or salmon. Then it would be some soup. Every day they would have some soup. And then I asked if they were healthy, and the answer was yes, they were pretty healthy, but they also had a lot of desserts, so they were pretty healthy. Not, of course, ultimate, but they were pretty healthy. And as you can see, mostly things are just simple foods: meats, potatoes, and vegetables. This is what they would eat. Of course, different kinds of meats, but meat, potatoes, and vegetables. Do the same thing. If you didn't, and if you don't, you're a pussy. This is your last chance. So as you've heard, they're all simple. There's no processed food. It's nothing complex. It's nothing with a lot of ingredients on the back of like a package. It's all plain simple foods. Potato, chicken, broccoli. It's a plain dish, and it's not a nice answer, but it is the reality that this is healthy food. It's simple, and this is how all our ancestors used to eat. It's the ancestral diet. Now, the ancestral diet does not mean we're going to go full caveman mode and we're just going to, meat and that's it. Of course not. We are going to use more modern products as well, like olive oil and stuff. But the point is that we're just going to use the most simplest and make the most simplest plates we can, just consisting of simple ingredients. Now, what does this include? These simple, healthy ingredients. Now, there are 4 components to the ancestral diet or a good, healthy diet. We want our diet to maximize muscle growth, because if you're a self-improver, we want you to work out. So we want you to have to maximize muscle growth, minimize fat gain, to improve your health, your overall health, and to feel sustainable. Now, don't click off this video because I just said, okay, potato, chicken, broccoli, I have my diet. Let's go, guys. just stay for a bit. Don't click off. We want to eat pure, healthy foods. Now, you probably know what these healthy foods are. I'll make it simpler for you. Healthy foods are anything people will not try to stop you from eating. No one will tell you to stop eating broccoli. No one will watch you eat potatoes or broccoli and tell you, maybe you should stop eating it, that's not good for you. These are most of the time the pure healthy foods you should be eating. Of course, there are things like milk that people won't judge you for if you drink it too much, and this is unhealthy, so it's not 100% bulletproof, but most of the time this will be the case. It will be the food that people will not judge you for eating. So to maximize our muscle growth, we want to only consume things that are high in protein, high in carbs, complex carbs, not simple carbs. Complex carbs are, once again, the simple carbs are like the pasta, bread. These are simple carbs, rice. These are simple carbs. We don't want to have simple carbs, we want complex carbs. Do I have a page on complex? Let me just check for a moment, bro, because I didn't write down a note for complex carbs, but I did write something down in the past. So let me just quickly check if I can find something for you, because this is pretty important, of course. Hold on a second. Maybe I should have organized this a bit better. Ooh, I seem to struggle with this a lot. It's not over here. Ah, there it is. Okay. Right. Carbs. 2 types of carbs. Complex carbs. Complex carbs are healthy. These are like potato and more brown rice. Rice is, okay, no, I was wrong. Rice is actually complex carbs, more so brown rice. Brown rice is better than normal rice because normal rice can have a bit too much sugar normally. So complex carbs will give you more energy and therefore give you more strength, which will make your workouts better in the gym, meaning more muscle. This is why complex carbs are good for the maximizing muscle growth. Then we want moderate fats. Once again, we don't want these shit fats. We want moderate fats, all natural fats that are from natural products like meats and stuff like, and oils and butter. These kinds of fats, that's what we want. And then we want to optimize our muscle growth by having protein around the clock. A lot of people will take what's called 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, for people who are very skinny and very fat, this won't work because you need about 120 to 180 grams of protein per day. You should aim about that range. But if you eat 1 gram per body pound and you're skinny, you won't have enough protein. For example, I weigh like 140 pounds. I don't even reach 150, 150 is what you should aim for. 120 is like the lowest. This is the minimum. You should have a minimum of 120 grams of protein, while 180 is more sort of recommended. So 150 is really what you should be aiming for to have at least every day. I don't even reach that with my body weight, meaning I don't eat enough protein during the day. So don't aim for, and of course if you're too fat as well, you can be consuming 200 to 300 pounds of 250 to 300 or 400 pounds of grams of protein each day. That's ludicrous. That doesn't work. So what you want to do is have aim between 120 and 180 grams of protein, but have an intake of protein around the clock. So every 3 hours or so, have an intake of 30 grams of protein. Every 3 hours, have a 30 gram intake of protein. And we want to start this at the beginning of our day, which will be the next point, which is component number 2, minimize fat gain. To minimize fat gain, we do this through fasting. Fasting is where you have a window of eating and a large window of not eating. Currently my window is I eat from 12 until 8, which is a 8-hour window, and then from 8 o'clock until 12 o'clock in the afternoon or in the morning, I don't eat. So I have a split of, 16 hours I fast and 8 hours of eating. So that's my split. So you split it up in blocks. I recommend this one. But fasting ruins our intake of protein, because if you're fasting and you're not eating anything in the morning, you're not taking in any protein either. So you're already ruining your protein around the clock. So what I'm going to do is something Hamza calls protein intermittent fasting, where for the first hours, so from you wake up at 6 and then from 6 until 12, you only take in protein. So you just mix protein with water, not milk, because once again, sugar. So you mix it with water and you add a scoop of 30 grams of protein and you have that 3 hours. This will maximize your muscle growth and actually even makes your fasting go better. This will even improve your fasting. So fasting combined with the protein intake is the best way to fast and also the best way to minimize fat gain. Now, third component is improving health. This is not the same as minimizing fat gain. Losing fat is not optimizing our health. So what is eating healthy? What is optimizing our health? It has to do with the gut microbiome. The gut microbiome is like the second brain of our body, and we want to optimize and take care of it as much as possible. It's the second brain of our body. So what you have to do to really keep your gut microbiome healthy is eat a lot of vegetables. I know it's kind of like the unsexy answer, but it's the truth. Eat a lot of vegetables. Once again, no one will tell you to stop eating vegetables as compared to eating ice cream. Everyone knows inherently that pizza, ice cream, and burgers are bad. And everyone knows that broccoli and potatoes are good. So it's a lot of vegetables, lentils, nuts, broccolis, fruits. these kind of stuff. It's what you've learned since you were a child. Fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Most of the times, the knowledge we gain as a kid is actually the most valuable one. So what this means is just base ingredients. Like I said, simple plates made out of base ingredients. Potatoes, rice, broccoli, chicken. Done. You now have a plate that is healthy, high in calories, has all the good components for optimizing muscle growth, optimizes health, minimizes fat gain because you're eating it after the fasting. And then we have the fourth component, feel sustainable. To make it feel sustainable, it has to be delicious. You can't just eat dry food. A lot of people try the diet of, in the gym, for example, you might have heard this, chicken, rice, and broccoli. You won't, this is already scientifically been proven to not be sufficient enough in terms of vitamins that you need throughout the day, and everything you need to function properly throughout the day. But you also want it to be delicious. You also want to sustain this diet and to keep this diet, and for that reason it has to be delicious. So find combinations that are very delicious. I, for example, now have the combination for my bulking phase: sweet potatoes, broccoli, peas, sweet peas, sweet corn, peas, sweet corn, and salmon. Put it on an oven tray, a bit of oil, a bit of salt, a bit of mixed spices, and put it in the oven for half an hour. This is a meal that has all the components we talked about, but is also damn delicious. So find combinations of simple, healthy foods that I listed and that follow all the components, and mix them together. Base ingredients is everything that doesn't have a description. When you have like a package, it will say it will have a list of ingredients, and it will sometimes have words you can't even pronounce. Meanwhile, potatoes, it's just potatoes. It doesn't have a list of ingredients. It doesn't have difficult names of added products into it. But it's difficult because a lot of foods nowadays have sugar added to them, but vegetables will always be more healthy, even with added sugar, than a burger with sugar, if you can follow that, or a Dr. Oetker pizza with sugar. It will always be more healthy than that. So why not just go for the more healthy route, instead of having this pessimistic mindset of, but everything has sugar, so why not just eat the unhealthy stuff, because it's bad for you, it will ruin your life. So just eat like our ancestors. Imagine and envision what Spartans would eat, and eat that. Well, no, not exactly, because they would eat bread, and we already discussed how bread is simple carbs. But just meats, vegetables, fruits, nuts. All you need to know. Being weak is nothing to be ashamed of. Staying weak is.